From the coach's office with head coach Steve Pikiell, the Pikiell Podcast presented by Horizon. Rutgers coming off a solid win over UCLA last night at Jersey Mike's Arena, 75-68. Coach, how are you?
I'm tired. As soon as the game ends, you're on to Nebraska. We got a little road trip here coming, but great environment yesterday. I'm thankful because it's school break and we still got the students coming to the game, and our fans are awesome. A UCLA team that's been ranked all year long comes to town, a program I respect a lot, and played really well. Nice to have Dylan Harper healthy again and have some practices under his belt. But we got great contributions from, everyone that checked in was a real positive, and we fought for 40 minutes and got ourselves a really, really good win, and we needed it.
No question. And it did feel like one of the more complete games and wins of the season because, yes, Dylan back healthy, I mean, let's be honest, makes a big difference. Ace doing what he does. But you talk about Zach Martini. Might not have played 30 minutes, but the minutes he gave you were big. Jamichael Davis was outstanding. Dylan Grant, who started, was great. Emmanuel was physical. Can you point to a better game this year, top to bottom?
Really not that, they were connected, every guy. And we changed our starting lineup, and we brought Jeremiah off the bench. He was fantastic. He was locked in like he has never been this year. I mean, he was locked in on both ends of the floor. He didn't referee at all because he tends to be a half a ref on the floor sometimes. So really proud of, guys that, were starting. Jamichael Davis came off the bench, great lifts, makes 4 free throws down the stretch, plays terrific defense. So a real complete game. I think that's kind of where we can be when we're connected and guys are really aware of the game plan and proud of them. We started a new second half of the season. So first half didn't go exactly the way we would like, but that doesn't mean the second half can't go as good as possible. So we're trying to make that happen.
You said something to me last night in the post-game interview after the game on radio, and it was that the lift and energy that Jeremiah brings coming off the bench. He, and I thought Jamichael too, talk about what that actually means in terms of the energy that the team gets when these guys play and hit the floor.
Means a lot, especially when he's one of your older players and he's a captain and he accepts whatever role has been given to him. And I, told him I need him coming off the bench and doing some great things for us. And, he said, whatever you need, coach, and I love that. I think that's the sign of a good team. I've started 11 different guys, so I've had to talk to 6 different guys on some occasions, say, listen, you're not starting anymore. And how they respond to that is always important to me. And, obstacles are always a part of your season, and how you respond to, it's easy when you're winning every game, and everyone's telling you how good you are. I've never been fortunate enough, especially in this league, to win every game. So I'm used to the obstacles. Your players got to fight through them. Then they got to fight through the phone obstacles. Then they got to fight through the other team obstacles. Then the refereeing obstacles. Then the flu obstacles sometimes and injuries. So it's a lot. I mean, people watch and don't understand. They really don't. I try to educate them as best I can. There's a lot that goes into winning a basketball game, especially the Big Ten level, and they were all locked into what was important last night.
One of the things that I thought was fantastic last night, you started out with 3 quick turnovers in the first 4 minutes of the game. You only finished with 9 or 10, which means that number came way down. What was different? What changed?
It was a huge key for this game because, we turned the ball over a lot against Purdue, and Purdue doesn't force turnovers. UCLA is number 1 in our league in forcing teams to turn the basketball over. And, I think we just settled down a little bit. We had a few turnovers against their pressure. Then I thought we embraced it. Then I thought we broke it, to get us opportunities. And, again, guys came off the bench, gave us great lifts. They didn't come in and turn the ball over, I think very important couple keys for each game, as you only have a couple days to prepare. That was number 1 key, rebounding always, and we did both of those, and that boded well for us to win that game.
Austin said to me during the broadcast, Ace does not look like a freshman anymore. The way he is rebounding the ball, 3 more block shots last night. Dylan, after a couple of games, looked like he was an upperclassman. How about, we're only sitting here as we record this in mid-January. How about their growth from opening night in November to where we are now?
I mean, they've learned a lot. It's tough. You're trying to stuff all these lessons into, 1 year. But physically, they've gotten better. on the court, offensively and defensively. They learned a lot of schemes and a lot of different ways teams play them. The physicality of the game for Ace, he's starting to learn to get to the rim. I mean, a double-double last night. And I will tell you, they're not alone, because Lathan Somerville has improved as much as anybody. And again, he's lost 45 pounds. He's guarding multiple positions. He's banging with some really elite big guys. He's starting to step out, make shots. He's our best free throw shooter. Last night he was spectacular too. And then we threw Dylan Grant in there, another freshman who's considered, keeps improving and keeps showing me new things every day. So I think they've all improved, and only wish they would be here for another 3 years like the old model of college, but it's probably not gonna happen.
It's a different day and a different time in college athletics. All right, let's talk about what's coming up now. A great win on Monday night against UCLA. Now you hit the road to go play in a very difficult place in Nebraska. Haven't lost there in 2023. The challenges that you have in literally 2 days.
Yeah. Place will be packed. Got to travel out there. Got to get a little rest today, but go over the game plan. Have a great film session. Walk through some stuff. Tomorrow we're back to hitting again and getting ready. Got to take the same attitude and approach on the road. I thought our guys really were positive and were really up for the challenge. You're going to have to go on the road and do something that no one's done there in a long time. It was go beat Nebraska at Nebraska in front of a sold-out crowd, because they're always sold out. And you got to play well in order to do that, and you got to be connected. And hopefully we'll do that again just like the other night.
And it's more than that too. And kind of talk to something you've been dealing with for years, obviously, but it's a long flight to Nebraska. You come back, we probably won't be back till 4 or 5 in the morning Friday. And then you're back on a bus to go schlep up to Penn State on Sunday afternoon. It's more than Nebraska. This is a really tough 4-day stretch.
It's an unbelievable tough. You hit these stretches during the season, and they're tough because of the travel, then they're tough because of the environments, then they're tough because the teams are really good. So, you need all your players to be healthy. You need them to get the right kind of rest. And then you need to quickly switch game plans, because each team is very different, and your guys got to be able to soak in a new game plan in a moment's notice while you're tired and then go and execute, because Nebraska plays completely different than Penn State does, and they got different personnel, and so I don't think people understand the hardships that go in that when there's no time and you got a young crew and you got to get a game plan in and practice it and get them to understand it, and then forget about what we just taught you for Nebraska. Now this is all Penn State now. Totally different keys, totally different film sessions, and these young players have to soak it all in and do a good job, and luckily we got good group, and they work.
Yeah, and so does your coaching staff. It will be a big part of that as well. Not to look too far ahead, but just because I don't know that we'll do this prior to it. You've got also a big game coming up at Madison Square Garden on January 25th against Michigan State, against a really good team. Every time you guys have been there, you really packed the place in red. What are you expecting a couple weeks out now?
Rutgers Nation usually loves that game, so I need them to pack Madison Square Garden. I need them to be there and be loud. Wear their red, and they always give us a home court advantage here at Jersey Mike's. They always give us one at Madison Square Garden. It's always nice on that stage to be able to showcase your team, and obviously playing a Hall of Fame coach, and Coach Izzo and Michigan State always, always top 25 basketball team. So, we're looking forward to another great evening there. Hopefully we'll be really happy.
And lastly, let's get to a couple of your recruits coming in. Give the fans out there an update on kind of how they're doing and now a year out from joining you.
I will tell you, couldn't be more excited. Anytime kids now, and it's become real special to me, pick us. So there's so many reasons to go other places now. It's not just the school and the basketball league. You're throwing finances in, you're throwing everything in there. And that they pick us is the first thing that I love. And these kids are all blue collar, tough, defensive minded too. I will tell you, Lino, Mark can defend, and Chris and Javante, like these kids are, kind of built around that, and Caden. from great families. They follow us closely. Chris was just here watching us play, and I think Lino's coming, Madison Square Garden. So we're going to get a chance to see those guys live, and we get out and see them play, and they bring a skill set to us, speed and athleticism. This class will be very athletic, and I want to get back to that with great size, but more importantly, like great character, winners, kids that have overachieved, and I like those kind of kids.
Exciting times for sure. Rutgers heading out to Nebraska and Penn State coming up. Coach, as always, we thank you for your time, and we'll do this again in a couple weeks.
It's always great. Thanks for having me.
That'll do it for the Pikiell Podcast presented by Horizon.